Just because we don't have an auditorium at Mason County Eastern doesn't mean we can't have a drama program. Come on in and I'll show you our new theater. Hi, my name is Anesa Beilfuss-Gulembo and I am the new theater director here at Mason County Eastern Schools. Because there is no stage or auditorium here on site at the school, we are practicing in what used to be the drafting room of the shop. I brought in several of my stage pieces and we have created a replica of what our stage is going to look like when we perform. So you practice in one space and then you perform in another. Stage design and all that goes into the behind the scenes work of a production is such a massive undertaking. There is a way to do it and there's a way to just kind of throw it together and hope that everything works. And I like to do it properly just to know that everything falls into place. First you have to sit and visualize plans, and then you're sketching plans, and then you're drawing diagrams, and then you're building, a model out of cereal boxes, and then you build blocks, and then you make your set. Our show takes place on the terrace of a family's home, and every single scene is on that terrace. There are no set changes, and it makes it very easy to create stairs and have your actors remain on those stairs for the entire program. One of the things that I always have my students do in my drama classes is I have them fill out a form, and it's called My Favorites. And that way I get to know what are their favorite films, what are their favorite TV shows, do they like to sing, are they a big history buff, do they get into these book series that are super lengthy. Then once I get to know them, then I start reading through plays that I think would cater to them and their interests. What greater way can I show them my respect than by putting on a show that they are absolutely going to love doing? So through doing these forms, these My Favorite forms, I found that most of my students were very much into the Harry Potter book series, but also into the Percy Jackson series. These Percy Jackson stories, they all incorporate some type of Greek mythology, Greek gods and things like this. But a lot of them were very silly and could talk in funny voices, and they really wanted to do a comedy. I really like period pieces, and it seemed like they were really wanting to do a period piece. So the show that we are putting on this year is called Delirium's Daughters. It is a farce by Nicholas Korn. Farce is an outlandish comedy where everything is just super silly. The thing about Delirium's Daughters is that the script sort of gives me a little bit of wiggle room because it says the setting is in Italy in the past, and that leaves it wide open for interpretation of what you would consider the past. Because my students were very much into Greek mythology and ancient Greece, I thought, what better way to incorporate all their interests than to have our play take place in ancient Rome, which is very similar to ancient Greece. Our play revolves around Signore Delirio and his family.
My name is Max Smith. I play Delirio in Delirium's Daughters. Delirio is the patriarch of the Delirio family.
The show revolves around 4 different suitors coming for the hands of 3 different girls, and the conflict of them being able to marry these girls, and for the unfortunate daughter who has 2 suitors, which one she's gonna pick. I'm Avery Crawford. I play the character Teresa, who is the older, very motherly sister of the 3 daughters. Teresa's suitor is the man Sirio.
My name is Kirsten. My character is Celia, and she's a very heart-centered character. Celia is actually into 2 guys, Jovio and Pomposa, and throughout the play you can see them battling over her. It's really awkward because Jovio and Pomposa in all the scenes are like my friends.
Because I had such a wonderful group of students to choose from for my auditions, I decided to do a cast A and a cast B. I do have some who play in cast A and cast B. Double casting is sort of a way of making sure that all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted so that if somebody is ill, you have an understudy.
I'm Jude Mikovich. I play Giovio. I am in cast A. Cast B is, for Giovio, is Isabella Gulembo. He's pretty much the comedian bad guy of the story. He's known for these long, extravagant speeches that he does. I'm really excited to play this part.
My name's Kennedy Tyler, and I play Teresa. I like the funniness of it because it's ridiculous, and I'm sure everyone's gonna love it.
Okay.
I'm Clay Shout, and I play the character Pomposa. He is kind of a stuck-up, rich boy. He thinks he's better than everyone else, and he wants to get Celia, one of Delirium's daughters.
It seems like in every theater program I've ever been a part of, there are so many women that are involved, but there aren't as many men. And so then the few men that you have always get the male lead roles. And it kind of is a bummer deal for girls. I think that one of the major mistakes a lot of directors make in that situation is that they find a show that incorporates many female roles and just a couple male roles. I feel like that puts you in a box and it really limits what you can do, especially with a group who really wants to do a period piece. You have a tendency to have these very stereotypical roles written for women. Sometimes they're not as fun. It's interesting because I never used to feel this way. I was sort of cultivated to believe that it was fun to play the damsel in distress. And so I always wanted that part. And then when you didn't get that part, it was like, oh, now I just have to be townsperson number 5. Something that I really encouraged my students to do was to view those gender roles as very fluid, because when you take those limitations out of it, suddenly all your students rise to the occasion. So you will see a lot of crossover in my production.
My name is Lucy Shout. I play Tomedio. He is a guy and he is engaged to Marina, who is very different from him personality-wise. She's very controlling and I would say full of herself, but she's not exactly mean about it. And Tomedio is very shy and he's kind of an oddball. He doesn't talk a lot and he's with this group of friends of the other fiancés of the other ladies.
My name is Beilfuss-Gulembo and I play Jovio. Jovio is supposed to be like the class clown of the play. He's like quick on his feet. He will do anything to win over Celia. Jovio is usually quick to blame Pomposa on something and vice versa. Playing a part of a guy, I immediately thought I want to do that. Oh, I thought it might make me like more confident to do stuff like that in the future. It just seemed more fun. Playing a girl, they were kind of all like the prize for the guy in it, as it seemed. And then I thought, like, I didn't really want to be someone like that. I'd rather not really be in it. Well, it's better than being damsel in distress. I get to be like the funny one, the one who like is so big and bold.
So because our production does take place in Italy, we have been working on Italian accents and some hand gestures. They sort of have their own language of hand gestures. We've been having a ton of fun with the accents, and it is super daunting. Being on stage is scary enough, but then if you're on stage and then you're speaking in an accent, it tends to make you very nervous.
That would be wonderful.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Give it back.
Give it back.
It makes you look like a moose.
It makes you look like a moose.
Talking in an accent's interesting. It was hard at first, but after a while I think it gets a lot more fun than it is hard, and you kind of forget about it.
It's kind of not really something you can just learn in 2 seconds. You need to be like around even something that sounds like it.
Learning the accents have been...
I like talking my accents, so what I do is I just go around my house talking in Italian whenever I get asked anything.
Accents are coming along a little bit.
It's kind of fun. We're also trying to get the hang of it.
Very sophisticated in that way and is very just classical.
For some students, it helps them get into a character if they're speaking in a different voice other than their own. Also, it helps that it's a farce because they know that they can just have fun with it and be silly.
Change your voice, even like this, it kind of makes it seem a little bit more unordinary, and you can trick people into thinking you're trying to do a different voice.
Accent's very difficult.
My accent. I'm really bad at my accent. I'm working on it though.
Some characters will be more over the top than others. Some of their accents will certainly not even be matching, and but that's how you would get it really anywhere, because my accent is completely different than my husband's, and not everybody speaks exactly the same if you are in the same country.
It probably wouldn't be good if you needed to tell someone eat it, because then it would be like, eat it.
We either sound Russian or Norwegian, with a hint of pirate.
Like Russians, not Italians. Or Arabic or something. A few people do sound like Italian. It's just pretty cool to see them do that.
Other than that, they're all terrible.
I do sew a little bit. I'm more creative and resourceful than anything. Sewing for the stage is a little bit different than sewing garments for real life. And that's what makes it a little easier to create because your stitches don't have to be perfect, your knots don't have to be so tight. And I also have the wonderful Ashley Bacon helping me with some costumes and some set pieces. One of the things that I love about doing a period piece is that you have the possibility for stage combat, and there's so much more sword fighting and fun stuff like that when you go into the past.
Celia could marry Pomposa. Ha! That would be far worse. That's probably one of my favorites because it almost like sums up like what I'm trying to stop in most of the play.
Throughout the whole play, they're conversing and battling with each other to win Celia, which is pretty fun.
That stage combat's really fun.
Doing the certain positions and learning how to fake fight, which looks pretty cool if you're on the outside, but it's simple but fun, like really, really fun, because Pomposa wins, kind of.
I have assembled an amazing tech crew. They have put in a lot of time, and pretty soon it's all going to pay off as we approach closer and closer to showtime. A lot of students make the mistake of believing that if you are cast as a member of tech crew and not an actor on the stage, it means that you have failed in some way, and that is simply not the case. You have to leave it up to the director to decide where best you will be used, and some people have skills that other people don't. Come show week, they are going to be the backbone of this production. They will be the central compass that everything revolves around.
My name is Olivia Brynelson, and my job here is stage manager. I type in stage directions so everybody knows what to do. Keep things under control here. Just a hand gesture or look over towards the people that are talking.
There is so much work that goes into being a stage manager. You are the head of the house and you have to be in charge of everything, and everybody has to respect you and listen to you. A stage manager does give a lot of instruction and a lot of orders, and so you have to have a personality and a spirit about you that people naturally will respond well to and respect. If you come across as somebody who might offend other people when you're talking, then it's probably not good to put you in a position of power where you'll be bossy people around.
I'm nervous that I might tell someone to go somewhere wrong or give a wrong direction, but I'm really excited to see how the play turns out. It's gonna be cool, but it's also gonna be stressful being in charge. Like, it's a important part to make sure things go right.
It's really nice to have drama class back again.
This is fun. We get to active, jump up on stages and fight and do accents and kind of just not let go of all the school stuff.
If you're not in drama already, you should definitely go join drama.
Most nervous about remembering the lines because I don't know if you know this, but I have the most lines.
Oh, I'm definitely most excited about like knowing all my lines, doing everything like perfectly, and just being jovial. At the bottom, deep in my heart, I just know I can do this.
I decided to make these cards, and they're like brief explanations about what each line is about, so I can learn everyone's part almost. But that I don't have to learn the exact words, and it's just an easier way to study it, because say if someone forgot their line, I might be able to come and save it if I remember what their line is about.
So for the past, I want to say around 4 or 5 years, I have been very interested in studying things like Greek mythology and Roman mythology, and it just so happens that this play takes around that time period of ancient Rome. It is gonna be hilarious.
I really like it when Tomedio gets pushed around on stage when I'm supposed to do something, but I get very confused and I kind of get thrown around to different parts. We have a lot of funny moments.
I'm most looking forward to just the performance.
Oh, I love the cast. We all get along really great, and it's really funny practicing with them. So.
I kind of thought most high schoolers were pretty stuck up, so I wasn't very excited, but now the high schoolers we have in the play, they're amazing. And like I'm starting to be pretty good friends with them.
I knew all of the middle school. I didn't know a lot of the high school, but through practice and stuff, we've gotten pretty close.
But I definitely think that we've gotten to be better friends because of this.
most excited about is the actual playtime. When seeing everyone in the crowd, and seeing all the work we've put in for the last, couple months, and seeing it all play out.
Be ready for some funny bits.
It is a complete humorous show, and I think the audience is going to get a kick out of it.
The setting taking place in ancient times, it being a farce, the goofy Italian accents and all of the hand gestures, then with, people trying to communicate with the dead and sword fighting and all these things. It all comes together and just makes such a fun production to direct and to be a part of. I can't wait. So please be our guest and come join us for Mason County Eastern's production of Delirium's Daughters, March 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st at 6:30 at the Fountain Town Hall.